Students, welcome back again. So this is a continuation of the previous lecture. So previous lecture we were talking about some basic laws. Okay, so let's have the revision of the previous lecture, then we will go further. Right. So in the previous lecture what we were talking is about some gas laws. Right. So we just discussed about Boyle's law, right? Yes. What is a Boyle's law statement? Boyle's law statement is pressure is inversely proportional to volume, which means pressure into volume is always constant. So you can say P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. And graphs, we have drawn three graphs. One is pressure versus volume. Second graph, pressure versus 1 by volume, and third one PV versus either pressure or volume, anything will work. And these all plots we called as isotherm, right? So because we draw all these at constant temperature. Yes, this was the previous class. Yes, if you have not seen that previous video, just go through the channel and you can see the previous video, and even I'll put the description here. Yes, second one, it is Charles law. We have studied Charles law also. Yes, Charles law state volume is directly proportional to absolute temperature. So V is equal to KT. So which means V1 by T1 is equal to V2 by T2. And here we have drawn the temperature of V, volume versus absolute temperature. We have drawn only one graph, and that graph is called as isobar because we have drawn that at constant temperature. And there one very important point we have studied, it is the lowest possible temperature for any gas to exist. For any gas to exist is, what is the temperature? It is either 0 Kelvin, or you can say minus 273.15 Celsius. Right, this was the previous class topic, and today we are going to continue the topic. That is a next law. That is what we are going to study today. It is Gay-Lussac's law. Okay, the Gay-Lussac's law mainly relates about pressure and absolute temperature, which says that the pressure of any fixed amount of gas is directly proportional to absolute temperature at condition, of course, at constant volume and fixed amount of substance. Fixed amount of substance symbol is N. Yes, you know that this application is useful in everyday life also. Like for example, I'll tell you application in summer season. Generally, in car tire we have to put less amount of pressure. In summer season, less pressure is applied or filled in tire. Why? So because the reason is this one only. Already temperature is more in summer, so pressure will be more. If you put more pressure, then automatically it will increase some more pressure. It may cause a tire burst and car accident. And in winter season we have to put little more pressure. In winter season we have to put little more pressure in tire, because in winter season temperature is basically less. So temperature is less means the pressure will automatically less. Pressure will still decreases. That's why for better mileage we need to put little high pressure. This is what generally Gay-Lussac's law says. So now here we can remove the proportionality symbol. We put constant. So P is equal to K into T, which means, yes, what can you say? P by T is equal to K, which means P1 by T1 is equal to P2 by T2. Yes, you know, 1 is the initial and 2 is the final. Means initial pressure, initial temperature, final pressure and final temperature. Yes, this is a Gay-Lussac's law statement. Yes, these all things will come at the end, so don't worry about it. So now the graph is important here. So here this I'm taking this equation. This equation is looking as y is equal to mx. Can we say like this? It is looking as y is equal to mx. In mathematics, what do we study? Y is equal to mx means the graph straight line passing through origin. So you see, this time I'm just modifying my graph. On y-axis, yes, I am taking a pressure, that's right. And on x-axis, I am taking a temperature in degree Celsius. So which means this is the origin point, which is a 0 Celsius, but if I put in a Kelvin system, it is something 273 Kelvin. So somewhere this will be a 0 Kelvin point, or minus 273.15 Celsius. So here, since you have taken absolute temperature, so the origin point will start from here. So here no gas will exist, that's why the graph will come like this. And while you are drawing this graph here, volume is kept constant, correct? So here you can put a V1. So again another graph at something V2. This is V2, and some another case it is a V3. First of all, when you're talking about the graphs at constant volume, here volume is constant, that's why we call these plots as isochore, because core means volume. Here the volume is constant, so these all plots are called as isochore. Now what you have to think is V1, V2, V3, which is a high value, which is a small value, that you have to guess. Yes, just to think about it. You can pause the video and you can think, because you cannot blindly watch the video. So simultaneously you have to take the note and then you have to think and all. Yes, what can be the relation between volume V1, V2 and V3? Yes, here I will do one thing. I will extra plot on y-axis. So let us say this is the pressure P1, and this is a pressure related to volume V2, so I can say this is a pressure P2, and this is pressure, this is a P3. I don't know which value is bigger one, V1, V2, V3, but I know P1 is big value, right? In Boyle's law, what we studied, pressure is inversely proportional to volume. Yes, so here P1 is a big value, which means the corresponding V1 will be less value. Very good. So V1 is less than V2, less than V3. Yes, this is the relation between V1, V2 and V3. Yes, this is a Gay-Lussac's law statement. I hope you understood it. Yes, it is simple. Pressure is directly proportional to absolute temperature. Now, yes, after Gay-Lussac's law, this is the last gas laws, which is Avogadro's law statement. Yes, Avogadro's law statement. Yes, what is Avogadro's law statement? It is very simple. It says that first of all, the statement is equal volumes of gases contain equal number of molecules when condition is there, when all the volumes are measured at same temperature and pressure, because when you change the temperature and pressure, of course volume will changes. This is a very simple statement. So which means they mean to say volume of gas is directly proportional to number of molecules at what condition? At constant temperature and pressure. So V is equal to K into N. So what does it means? Let's see that one. This is a simple statement where V is the volume of gas and N is the number of moles. This means it means 1 ml of carbon dioxide will have same number of molecule as 1 ml of hydrogen, will have same number of molecules in 1 ml of benzene, etc. But when these all volumes are measured at a constant or same temperature and pressure, this is Avogadro's law statement. Now you are combining all the gas laws, that is called as a combined gas law. It's called as a combined gas equation. Yes, combined gas equation is useful. So from that you can remember all these remaining gas laws. Yes, I'll combine two things. One is Boyle's law, which says pressure is inversely proportional to volume. And next, Charles' law. Yes, pressure is directly proportional to temperature. You can take any two laws, no problem. These two are very comfortable one. That's why I have taken. Yes, if you have a doubt, you can comment. You can put a comment in a comment box, and I'll just come back to you. Yeah. Now from this one you can write P is proportional to T by V. Right. So here when you remove the proportionality symbol, you can put some constant. Let us say constant K into T by V. Right. So now PV upon T is equal to K, where K is a constant. Now if you have different conditions or different cases, then you can put P1 V1 by T1 is equal to P2 V2 by T2. Yes, this is called a combined gas equation. By using this we can solve all kind of numericals. Any kind of numericals can be solved. This is a useful one. Suppose if I talk about Boyle's law. In Boyle's law, what I said, temperature is a constant, which means T1 and T2 are same. They get cancelled. So you will get P1 V1 is equal to P2 which is a Boyle's law statement. From this you can derive Boyle's law. Let us derive Charles' law also. Here in Charles' law, pressure is a constant, which means P1 and P2 get cancelled. So V1 by T1 is equal to V2 by T2. Yes, that is a Charles' law statement. And if you take Gay-Lussac's law, volume is constant, which means V1 and V2 are same. It get cancelled. So P1 by T1 is equal to P2 by T2. Yes. So in this way, this equation is useful at any case. This is about combined gas equation. Yes. Now next one, it is ideal gas equation. Yes, ideal gas equation. First of all, you should know what is the meaning of ideal gas. So generally, this is a very basic fundamental term. What is the meaning of ideal gas? Ideal gas means any gas which obeys all gas laws strictly at any condition, like any temperature or any pressure, then that is called as gas law. So what is the meaning of this obeying gas law strictly? For example, if I consider Boyle's law, Boyle's law says pressure is inversely proportional to volume. What does it mean? Pressure is inversely proportional to volume, which means when pressure is doubled, means 2 times, then volume becomes half, isn't it? And if this condition is exactly followed, if I take hydrogen gas, and on this case initially let us say pressure is 1 atmosphere and volume V1 is 1 liter, let us say condition. Now I say pressure, let me double it, 2 atm, and practically if I measure volume, if it become exactly half, means 0.5, this is the experimental thing I am doing. If experimentally if I get exactly half, then I can say the gas is following Boyle's law strictly. The gas is following Boyle's law strictly, and that gas can be called ideal gas. But if I do experiment, if I get the volume either more than or less than 0.5 liter, either more than or less than 0.5 liter, then I cannot say this gas is ideal gas. This is what I said strictly. So here experimentally 0.5 liter and theoretically also 0.5 liter strictly, then it is called as ideal gas. I'll give you one more example also. Yes, second example, let me take a Charles law. What this Charles law says, volume is directly proportional to absolute temperature, which means if absolute temperature is doubled, volume should also be doubled, correct? Should also be doubled. This is what as per Charles law. Now you are taking hydrogen gas, and let us say the volume is 1 liter at temperature 200 Kelvin. You have taken Kelvin system. Now this temperature I am doubling, which means 400 Kelvin. Now volume, what it should be, experimentally if I do, volume should also be exactly double. Then I can say the gas is following Charles law and the gas can be called as ideal gas. But if the volume is coming either more or less than 2 liter, then I cannot say this is obeying Charles law. It's not called as ideal gas. Understood it? That is the ideal gas equation. Ideal gas definition. Now ideal gas equation. Yes, ideal gas equation, I can take any gas laws. Let me take Boyle's law first. You can take any laws, you can try, and if you have any query, you can come with a message in chat box. Yes, volume is inversely proportional to pressure. Can I say Boyle's law? Yes, absolutely right. Then Charles law says volume is absolutely directly proportional to absolute temperature. Then next one, it is Avogadro's law. Avogadro's law, volume is directly proportional to number of moles. Now from these three laws, what can we say? Volume is directly proportional to NT by P. Can I say like this? Volume is proportional to NT by P. Now when we remove the proportionality symbol, we put some constant. Yes, the constant here I'm putting is R. Why it is R? Because that is a fact. Science, it is accepted that R NT by P, where R is called constant, and that R is called as a universal gas constant, which is common for all gases. That's why it is called as universal gas constant. So which we can say PV is equal to nRT. So this is a ideal gas equation where you know pressure, P is pressure of gas, V is volume of gas, but gases do not have fixed volume. So V means I can say volume of a container in which gas is kept, and N is number of moles, and R is of course gas constant, and T is absolute temperature, which means temperature in Kelvin scale or Kelvin system. That is about equation. Now this equation again I am modifying it, where R is a constant, so I can rewrite this as PV over NT is equal to R. PV over NT is equal to R. So which can be simplified for two different cases. I can write P1 V1 over N1 T1 is equal to P2 V2 over N2 T2. Yes, this is another ideal gas equation. So if you can remember this, dear students, you can solve maximum type of questions based on this one. So you need not to remember Boyle's law, Charles' law, Gay-Lussac's law, Avogadro's law individually. Once if you can remember this one, you can do all kind of numericals. Yes, right? Understood? Yes. If you like my class, yes, put just like put on the symbol like. And yes, we will come with the better classes and better techniques in further. This is just beginning of our journey, so surely we'll come with a best and the best techniques. Yes. Now here we need to find what is R. So that is a universal gas constant. So that value you have to find. Value of R, where R is universal gas constant. Right. So first of all we should know STP condition. STP means standard temperature and pressure. Generally temperature and pressure, if they change, volume also changes. So that's why scientists have taken standard temperature and pressure, where the temperature standard one, which is a 273.15 Kelvin, and pressure, the standard pressure is 1 atmosphere. At that time the volume of 1 mole of gas, number of moles, it is 1 mole. For 1 mole of gas the volume is 22.4 liter. Right, this is the one set of conditions, STP. The another set is temperature, is a fixed one, 273.15 Kelvin. Pressure slightly changed, pressure is 1 bar, slightly decreased because bar is less than atmosphere. So pressure is decreased means volume will slightly increase, so which is going to be 22.7 liter. And of course number of moles is going to be 1 mole. So we have got two set of conditions for STP. One is the pressure in ATM, atmosphere, and the other one is pressure in bar. Now under this condition, what is the value of R that we have to find? Yes, that is case 1, when pressure is in ATM. This condition I am taking. So R is equal to, what can we write from this equation? R is equal to PV is equal to nRT. R is equal to PV over NT. Now put these values. P is 1 atm, V volume is 22.4 liter, and N, which is 1 mole, and temperature, which is 273.15 Kelvin. So which you can write down this as 22.4 upon 273.15 atm liter per mole per Kelvin. Right, you can simplify it and you will get 0.0821 atm liter per mole per Kelvin. Yes, so you have to remember this value. Now case 2, that is the pressure is in bar. Yes, PV is equal to nRT and R is equal to PV over NT. Pressure is in bar, so volume will be 22.7 liter and 1 mole, of course number of moles. Temperature is 273.15 Kelvin. So which you can write down as 22.7 over 273.15 liter bar per mole per Kelvin. So which is coming little bit greater than that previous one, 0.0831. It is a liter bar per mole per Kelvin. That is another value of R. This is the another set of R value. Now third one, case 3, that is under SI condition. This is a little bit important. Generally when condition is SI, then we use standard system. So in that case the pressure we take in Pascal, 10 power 5 Pascal. Yes, but I'll do in a different way. Okay, so generally people used to do in Pascal system, but I'll convert this in bar into that one. 1 bar, and volume it is a 22.7 liter. You know 1 liter is equal to 1 decimeter cube, and 1 decimeter means 10 power minus 1 meter whole cube. So which is equal to 10 power minus 3 meter cube. So I can write 22.7 into 10 power minus 3 meter cube. Yes, let me take this one in Pascal also, so it will be easy for you. So 10 power 5 Pascal, volume is this, and temperature is a very common 273.15 Kelvin. Now put these all, number of moles is 1 mole, and put all these in that equation. PV is equal to nRT. Now we have to find what is the value of R. R is equal to PV over NT. P is 10 power 5 Pascal into V. V is 22.7 into 10 power minus 3 meter cube upon N. It is a 1 mole into temperature is a 273.15 Kelvin. Yes. Now we can rewrite this one as 22.7 upon 273.15 into 10 power 2 into Pascal into meter cube in per mole per Kelvin. Correct. So yes, this value, you know, it is 0.0831. Just now we have studied, into 10 power 2. Instead of Pascal, what can we write? Pascal. Actually, we know that pressure is equal to force upon unit area. So force unit, it is a kg meter per second square upon area, it is a meter square. So which you can write down as kg per meter per second square, isn't it? So which means Pascal is equal to this one. So instead of Pascal, I am putting that kg meter inverse per second into, that is very common remaining thing, mole cube per mole per Kelvin. Now which you can write down as 8.31 into what will come, it is a kg meter square per second into per mole per second, which is equal to 8.31. This kg meter per second square, actually we know that work is equal to force into displacement or length. Force into length. Force unit, it is a kg meter per second square into meter, which is equal to kg meter square per second square, and the work unit of work, it is joule. So here instead of this term, okay, what can I put? Joule per mole per Kelvin. So that is the value of R. So in SI system we write 8.31 joule per mole per Kelvin. Understood this one? Yes. Next one. Now it is a case 4. If I want to put in CGS system, So then right now we got it is 8.31, or 4 also will come if we can write joule per mole per Kelvin. So if I want to put this in ergs, so 1 joule is equal to 10 power 7 ergs. So you can put 8.314 into 10 power 7 erg per mole per Kelvin. That is a R value. So because 1 joule is equal to 10 power 7 erg. But this is very rarely useful. So and case 5 in calories. If I want to convert this in calories, 1 calorie is equal to 4.18 joule, which implies 1 upon 4.18 calorie is equal to 1 joule, right? So now this I am putting here. So R is equal to 8.314 joule per mole per Kelvin. So this joule I am converting in calories. So what I have to do, 8.314 into 1 upon 4.18 calories per mole per Kelvin, because 1 joule is equal to 1 upon 4.18 calories. So this comes around 1.99 calories per mole per Kelvin. So this is the final R value. So this we use when energy is given in calorie terms. So this is about a conclusion of this class, right? So I'll just give you a recap of all the points what we have studied so far. So we studied about just recap, or recap is, first we studied about combined gas equation. Yes, what is a combined gas equation? P1 V1 over T1 is equal to P2 V2 over T2. And next we studied about ideal gas equation. Yes, what is ideal gas equation? P1 V1 over N1 T1 is equal to P2 V2 over N2 T2, or PV is equal to nRT. We can use any of these depending on the question. And next we have studied about R value, universal gas constant R. First one 0.0821, it is a liter atmosphere per mole per Kelvin. So next one 0.0831, 4 also will come. If you want you can write liter bar per mole per Kelvin. And sometimes 8.314 joule per mole per Kelvin, and which is equal to 1.99 calories per mole per Kelvin. So this is the summary of a class, right? So finally summary is done, and I hope you like this class. And very surprise thing in the next class, I'm going to give you practice problems of IIT questions as well as NEET questions. So don't forget to watch that next coming video. Yes, if you like my video, just hit on that like button, and yes, do subscribe us, and thank you guys.